Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. This is Akhtaruzzaman Bappi. My dear students, hope all of you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also fine. Dear, today I will take your BGST class from your textbook Bangladesh and Global Studies.
Okay, my dear students, now time for previous lesson. Your previous lesson was chapter 2. So I'm going to ask you some MCQ type questions from chapter 2. Let's see the first question here. When Wari Bodhisha developed? Let's see who can give the answer. 2400 years ago, 2500 years ago, and 2600 years ago, and 2700 years ago. Let's see who can give me the answer. Excellent. Answer is 2500 years ago. Very good. So student, get ready for second question. Let's see. Which district is Wari Boteshwar situated in? Let's see. First point, Dhaka district, Bogura district, North Sindh district, Kumilla district. Can you guess which one will be the answer? Yes, excellent. North Sindh district here. The answer you can see. Thank you very much. Now, students, question number 3. On the bank of which river was Mohastangad developed? Can you guess the answer? The first one, Brahmaputra, Meghna, Padma, and Karnafuli. Can you guess the answer? Yes, absolutely right. Brahmaputra, right? This is the answer. Thank you. Now, students, question number 4. Get ready to give the answer, please. Who fought against the British from the Mohastangad jungles? Yes, this is the question. First point, Fakir Lalon Shah, Fakir Mojnu Shah, Fakir Karamot Shah, Fakir Alamgir Shah. Let's see. Yes, thank you. Your answer is correct. Fakir Mojnu Shah. Absolutely right. Thank you. Now, student, question number 5. What is the distance of Mahastangad from Bogura city? Can you guess the answer? Yes, first point here, 2 km, 5 km, 8 km, 13 km. Yes, answer is 13 km. Thank you very much. Now, student, next question, question number 6. Which can be found in Mahastangad? First point, Brahmin inscription, old fortress with deeds, sculptors, coins, Khudai Pathar, and all of these. Can you guess which one will be the answer? Absolutely correct. Answer will be all of these. All of these. Thank you. Now, students, another challenge for you. Let's see. Get ready. Please give the answer. North Sindh is famous for dash. Sweet, clothes, Wari Boteshwar, and fish. Is a very common question for you, right? So answer will be yes, absolutely correct. See, Wari Boteshwar. Here you are. You can see the answer. Thank you. Now, another question for you. Let's see. Now, students, question number 8. Pandanagar developed in 2400 years ago, 2500 years ago, and 2600 years ago, and 2700 years ago. Can you guess the answer? Yes, absolutely correct. 2400 years ago. Thank you very much. Now, student, another challenge for you. Let's see in question number 9. For your previous lesson, what if Bhatteshwar was the city center of first point Greek civilization, Chinese civilization, urban civilization, Persian civilization? Can you guess the answer? Yes, urban civilization. Right. Your answer is correct. Thank you. Now the last question for you. Let's see. 10 number question. Please try to give the answer. Printed silver coins and lovely looking measuring weights are indicate of commerce, story, or science. Yes. Thank you. Last one also correct. Thank you very much. Answer is commerce, right? Business. Thank you. Now, my dear students, today's topic. But before going to today's topics, you have to say what will be our today's topic. Students, I'll show you some pictures. Then you have to guess what will be our today's topic. Let's see. First picture here. What can you see? Lots of people, they are trying to get on a train, right? Another train, so lots of people so gathering, right? Also dangerous, very dangerous situation. Okay, so another picture, population density in Bangladesh, Thana wise. So you can see this is a map, Bangladesh map. Also you can see the figure, the number of people. Okay, so now you have to guess what will be our today's topic. Absolutely correct. Answer is correct. So your chapter will be 4, right? And your chapter name is Introduction to Population of Bangladesh. And today, students, I will discuss about lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So please stay with me. And today your lecture number will be 38. 38. Thank you. Now, first you can see here learning outcomes. After studying the lesson, you will able to give answer of some related questions, give answer of MCQ, and explain of chapter 4, lesson 1 to 6. Here is your book. The first lesson you can see introduction to demography. So students, you must give attention here. What is demography? So here you can see the number of people living a locality or state can be counted. In a particular time, how many babies are born, how many dies, how many people of which age live, how many are married, how many have migrated to other place, or how many have come from other place can be calculated. Okay, so analyzing the words demography, you can say is the must underline this part, or you have to remember it. Two words are found. One is demos, which mean people, and the other is graphy, which mean measurement or description or quantity. So demography means the calculation or description of population. So clear. Demography is also called population science. So I think you don't have any problem. So students, this part is very important for this page, so you must underline from your book. Thank you. Now another page, dominant elements for change of population. So what are the dominant elements for change of population? So you can see here birth rate, mortality rate, migration, marriage, and social mobility, and so on. So birth rates is a common thing. Generally, birth rates mean the number of living children born to every 1,000 women of a particular country in a particular time. So this is called birth rate. So first line you must underline from here. The increase of birth rate is one of the reasons for the increase of population. It's a very important point. In the countries like Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, etc., birth rate is high. However, birth rate is low in some countries like the USA, Canada, and Australia. Okay, now mortality rate. Mortality may mean death, right? So usually the end of life is called death. So very important. Mortality rate is also measured in per thousand. It is determined by how many people of a certain age die in per 1,000 people. So this is called mortality rate. You must underline it. And the decrease of mortality rate is one of the reasons for increase of population. So development of medical science and other technologies has resulted in the decrease of mortality rate in Bangladesh for some decades. In 1990, the mortality rate of below 5 years old children was 144 in per thousand, but 2015 child mortality rate is 38 in per thousand because of modern technology, modern science technology. Now our mortality rate is low. Okay. Very good. Now dominant elements for change of population. What are the dominant elements? The first one is migration. So migration means people move from one place to another within the country or from one country to another country. So this is a very important. What is migration? We must underline first one. Migration is of two types. One is internal migration and other is international migration. Internal migration means sometimes we come Dhaka from village, right? So one district to another district in the country. It is called internal. And international migration means when we go one country to another country to live. This is called international migration. Okay. So here you can see international migration take place within the country, so internal. But people migrate from village to town, village to village, town to village, town to town within the country is called internal migration. So you have the definition. And however, when we go to different place daily, we cannot be called internal migration. Transfer from one independent country to another for job, marriage, residence, and even citizenship is known as international migration. So this part also very important. However, if migration takes place within the country, the total population does not increase or decrease, but if migration takes place from one country to another, then the total population will be changed, right? So you must practice it. Thank you. Now another 2 points here. Marriage. Conventionally, the people of our country get married at a relatively tender age. It is one of the main reasons for increase of birth rate. In our country, early marriage has been officially banned, right? So this is the fact of marriage. So early marriage is another reason for increasing of population. And social mobility. The social mobility mainly means the change of social status. For example, if any member of a poor family getting highly educated become a high official, his status will change. As a result, his conscience, consciousness will increase and she will keep the number of children at a local level. So this is another fact for increasing population. Okay. So now students, here you can see what your lesson 5 and 6, cause and effects of dissimilarity in birth rate. So I am not reading full. So causes of dissimilarity in birth rate. Dissimilarity mean birth rate and death rate. Okay, mortality rate. So what are the reason behind it? Climate, lack of education, and early marriage and polygamy. So for climate change, we can see the dissimilarity between birth rate and mortality rate. Also lack of education and early marriage and polygamy also, and low living standards. So students, you have to read this point very carefully. And infant mortality rate also increase. This is another reason for increasing of population. Impact of birth rate discrepancy. Increase and decrease of population have diverse influence in a country, right? If the birth rate is high in a country, the proportions to land and other natural resources, the country failed to provide the people with basic needs such as food, clothes, accommodation, education, and healthcare, etc. So students, increase to healthcare. This part is very important. You must underline it. Okay. National income of the country declines. As a result, problems like food deficiency, poverty, unemployment problem in educational management, ecological imbalance, etc. Come into view, standard of life degrade, man in attacked with many diseases. So rest part students, you have to read from your book. Thank you. Now dear students, I am going to share a video. Let's enjoy a video about population of Bangladesh.
Is not inhabited by Indians, but Bengalis who speak the Bengali language. In fact, it is almost impossible to differentiate a Hindu from a Bengali, like a Japanese from a Korean. Bangladesh is translated from Bengali, is the country of Bengalis. English for communication is not needed here. Unlike multinational India, almost 90% of Bangladeshi people practice Islam. Some locals, to show that they are different from people of a different faith, dye their beard or hair in red. Worldwide, there are over 250 million Bengalis, about 100 million of whom lives in India. Bangladesh is a relatively young state. After the partition of India, the territory of modern Bangladesh became East Pakistan. And only after the war for his independence in 1971, it became an independent country with the current name. Despite such disappointing characteristics, it is a vibrant and very unusual country. The first thing that catches your eye in Bangladesh is people. They are everywhere, both in the city and in the village. The majority lives on the street. There is a feeling that people only spend the night in the houses and spend most of the day outside, where they work, eat, wash and relax. Due to the lack of land, many residents build their houses along the railway tracks. Life on rails here is a commonplace. Between the trains, it seems that these roads have long been abandoned. Children play everywhere, mothers bath their babies, and garbage is everywhere. But after the train hoots, this impression instantly disappears. Of course, not everyone managed to clear the way, and not always, and even in the hustle and bustle of a slum life, a beep is sometimes just not heard. Therefore, mortality in these areas is very high. The capital of the country is Dhaka. It is one of the largest cities in the world. This is a real shocking Asia, an environmental disaster zone, and an apocalypse on Earth. A catastrophically overpopulated city with about 20 million inhabitants, Dhaka has one of the highest percentage of homeless people among the capitals of the world. This is the dirtiest city in the world, which is literally littered with garbage. The Barikanda River, which runs through Dhaka, is one of the dirtiest rivers on the planet. Garbage, industrial waste, and even the remains of animals and people are dumped in there. Despite all this, the townspeople use its water in everyday life, which is why a lot of people die from skin and cancer diseases. They bath right inside the river, and it seems from washing in such water they become even dirtier. Poverty and overpopulation in Dhaka give a scary impression. 70% of the population lives below the poverty line. Bangladesh is a rickshaw country. Urban traffic is chaos from cycle rickshaws, trucks, cars and pedestrians. Roads in the capital are broken and covered with mud. There is no central sewage system in Dhaka, and all human waste directly flows into lakes or rivers, and then into the Bay of Bengal. Dhaka is a city where they do not care about life. These are people who have not seen another way of life and do not know what the comfort is. In general, so far Dhaka is some kind of trash and gloom, and everyone who visits the city at least once afterwards thanks God that he has everything. In such a poor country as Bangladesh, people still believe.
Thank you very much. Now, dear students, I have given here some related questions from this topic. So let's see first question here. What was the growth rate of population in 2007? Can you guess please? Okay, you can see here the answer also. The growth rate of population in 2007 was 1.41%. Thank you. Now students, here question number 2. What is the main cause of increase of population? Okay, question number 2. What is the main cause of increase of population? Can you guess the answer? Absolutely correct. Answer is here. The main cause of increase of population is difference between birth and death rate. If the birth rate is high, then death rate, then population automatically increase, right? If the death rate is more than birth rate, then population will decrease. Okay. Now another question for you, question number 3. When the population remains constant, when? It's a very common question. See, if the birth and death rate remain same, then the population remain constant. So very important question. Now students, question number 4. The rate of child mortality is low in which country? Can you guess the answer? Yes, absolutely correct. The rate of child mortality is low in developed country like USA, Canada, right? Thank you. Who helps his father in agriculture activity in our country? Can you guess the answer? It's a very common question. Absolutely correct. Male child helps his father in agriculture activity in our country. Okay, thank you. Now students, question number 6. What does the word demography mean? It's a very important question. Already I have discussed from your book, right? So demography means measurement or description of population, counting population, right? Thank you. Now students, another question for you. What is birth rate? Can you guess the answer? Absolutely correct. Birth rate means the number of living children born to every 1,000 women of a particular country in a particular times. So it's a very important question. You must read it. You must remember it. You must memorize it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, students. Now, question number 8. What is intramigration? Can you guess what will be the answer? Yes, the internal migration also. When people go from one place to another within the country, it is called intra-migration. Okay. Now, students, time for feedback session. Let's see. Now, I'm gonna to asking you some questions from your today's topic. So you have to give the answer. Are you ready? Yes. The first question here. The rate of child mortality rate is low in which country? Can you guess the answer? Yes, absolutely correct. Developed country, right? Here I have given the answer also. The rate of child mortality is low in developed country. Thank you. Let's see for the second question. Who helped his father in agriculture activity in our country? Is another very common question. Let's see who can give the answer. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you very much. Yes. Male child, right? Thank you. Here you can see the answer. Male child help his father in agriculture activity in our country. Thank you very much. Now another challenge for you. What does the word demography mean? Absolutely correct. Demography means measurement or description of population, right? Here is the answer also. So Baba, you must practice all questions. Now students, another question for you. What is birth rate? Can you guess the answer? Yes, here is the answer. Birth rate means the number of living children born to every 1,000 women of a particular country in a particular time. This is called birth rate. Okay. Here is student, here is the last question for feedback session. So you have to say what will be the answer. What is intramigration? Can you guess the answer? Who can give me the answer? Absolutely correct. Your answer is correct. When people go from one place to another within the country, it is called intra-migrations. Isn't it? So, my dear students, you must practice all related question and from your previous lesson, you also can practice what MCQ, right? Thank you. Now, can you guess what is next? Yes, now time for your homework. Here, chapter 4, lesson 1 to 6 that already I have discussed, right? So students, you must read your book, your main book, textbook properly 2 or 3 times. Then you have to underline the important part. Then I am giving you only the related question that I have discussed today's class. You must read it. You must read it. your subject teacher will ask you the question.
Students, hopefully you have enjoyed my class, and you must practice at home, and you have to do CWSW that your teacher is giving every day, and you have to stay home, and you must be safe. Thanks for watching my class. Take care. Allah Hafiz.